Good evening, YouTubers. T-Square here with T-Square Talk. So I hope you guys are all having a great night. I've been having a lot of people ask me, hey, what's going on with the coin shortage? What's going on with the coin shortage? Is there really a coin shortage? There is a coin shortage. However, it might surprise you why. A lot of people are coming up with their own little unique reasons, and the Fed was quick to jump in. Don't believe any of that. The only reason there's a coin shortage is because people are locked up in their houses and they're not spending their change. You can believe that, or you can stick around here and listen to the true, in my opinion, reason on why there is a coin shortage and what's coming. We're going to take a look at some of the facts that this is not simply people are saving their change at home. So I recently went to a grocery store. They had a sign up in the store. They said to basically help out your local store by turning your change into them. And I was like, what? Just go to the bank and get some more change. Me being a coin roll hunter, for some of you guys that know what coin roll hunting is, I basically look through coins, open them up, look through them, look for rare old coins that you can still find in circulation today. If you guys don't know what coin roll hunting is, you can subscribe to this channel. And in the bottom in our playlists, we have a list of videos on what coin hunting really is. I'll put a link at the end of this video so you guys can check that out. But in the meantime, back to the change shortage. So this right here, a box of change, as you can see. Do I turn it into the bank? Do I take it to my local grocery store? Or should I just hang on to it? And why would I want to hang on to it? Let's jump over. We'll take a look at some links, and I'll show you guys why it's in your best interest to hang on to your change right now. So I'm going to do this so you guys can see exactly what I am looking at and all the links. Okay, first thing I'd like to say, go ahead and please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for notifications, and hit the thumbs up if you like this video. It really helps us out more than you know. If you are at my channel page, later on, you can check this out. Come right down here, coin roll hunting. You can see all the reasons why you want to open up coins to find really cool, valuable coins that are worth a lot more than what the coin says it's worth. Like a penny, it may not be worth just a penny. Some pennies have been known to be worth $50,000. If you think it's not likely you're going to find that, you would be shocked. Some of the coins that we found here on the channel, we found $100 coins like they were just sitting in there. Nothing. Who really looks at their change? Most people, they just pull their change. They end up just throwing it in a jar, roll it up, take it to the bank. People don't even look at it. There's not a lot of people that do it. It's a growing thing, so coin roll hunting is becoming more popular. Also, I'd like to take a quick minute to thank the 3,079 followers we have on Instagram, and also thank the 5,180 followers that we have here on YouTube. Okay, so jumping into our main story. Coin shortage. Now, you may or may not have heard of this coin shortage. However, if you just type coin shortage in any Google window, you will find tons and tons of stories on why there is a coin shortage, what this means. You may find some conspiracy stuff. You may even consider this a conspiracy story. However, I like to always show facts that will support the conspiracy story that I'm essentially going to tell you guys. So, coin shortage. Why is there a coin shortage? So, the U.S. Mint will tell you, due to virus closures, have led to a lack of change in circulation. In short, people are staying home and they're not spending their change. They're taking the option of ordering online and not leaving their houses. I don't know about you guys, but I leave my house all the time. And I always pay in cash. And you can, some people tell me, well, no, there's no coin shortage. I can just go to the laundromat and put a 20 in, or the car wash and put a 20 in. That is slowly going away. Try to go to a car wash or a laundromat and stick it in a 20. They may not even have change there. Why? This ain't everywhere. This is big cities. Always look at the big cities that are getting hit first by this. So trying to get change like that, you're going to run into signs in different places that say, please don't do that. I was looking for a link. I actually had a link earlier. It was another picture that went with this, but I guess it changes pictures. I can't play the videos that come with these because if I do, I could get a copyright violation. However, so that's their official story. Change is not moving around because people ain't leaving their houses. Okay. Now, they even went a step further to try to back their claim by saying this is a fact versus fiction page, basically saying that, yes, it's a fact there is a coin shortage. However, it's not anything that has to do with the Federal Reserve Chairman Powell told the House Financial Committee that the coin shortage has resulted from the partial closure in the economy. It has nothing to do with the banks wanting to go to an all-digital currency. So right there, here's the thing. When they went on to say it has nothing to do with whenever someone says it has nothing to do with that, that's usually the first thing I want to go look up. So does Jerome Powell really want to put us on a electronic currency, an all-digital currency where you have to use your debit card, your credit card, no more cash? Get rid of the cash altogether. I mean, think of this. So I talked to a lady at the bank first before I get into the proof now of this story. And the lady at the bank says, well, think about it. She goes, how many businesses would save money by cutting people if there's no such thing as paying by cash anymore? You just swipe your card, bam. No one has to count the money. No one can steal money. It's all easy. It saves, cuts down on cashiers. You've already seen. I feel like I work for Walmart now every time I go to Walmart because I gotta be my own cashier. Then I have to be my own bagger. I almost feel like I should get a paycheck from Walmart because of the amount of money they're saving. They say they're doing that for you. They're not doing that for you. They're doing that so they can save money on their bottom numbers. However, they say has nothing to do with a cashless society. However, bam, type in Jerome Powell digital currency. Jerome Powell is the man in charge of the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve, for those of you that don't know, is not federal. It's a private bank. They are a bank with exclusive rights to print the United States dollars. And basically, here's the thing. Could we go digital? Well, let's see here. Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell has given advocates of the financial policy a glimmer of hope and hinted the U.S. might competitively position a future digitalized dollar. So when you say that now, that leads me to want to look into more of this. So what's going on? Is it just that? Now, there's two things at play here. I have a belief that if we go to an all-digital currency, they want that, obviously, because then they can just print money out of thin air. Not like they're not already doing that. See, now we print money out of thin air. Pretty soon, we'll be able to just add a couple zeros on that account. We can print it out. We won't even have to print it out. We'll just put a zero and bam, we got more money in circulation. What do you think that does? We've done a lot of videos on this. When you print money, essentially, that makes the dollars that are out there lose value. There's more of them in existence chasing a finite amount of personal resources. So if there's only so much, let's say, silver in the world, and there's a lot of money out there, well, people will essentially buy silver for a higher price. They'll buy gold for a higher price. They'll buy food for a higher price, gas, any commodity that you can think of. You picture that the store down the street from a high school they sell Xboxes or PlayStations, and all of a sudden you give every kid in the high school a couple $1,000s. You can expect those PlayStations or Xboxes to sell out really quickly. When the new batch comes in, what do you think they're going to be charging for those? They're not going to charge the same price, because if they charge the same price, they're instantly going to be sold out. So they can raise the price. So little by little, you'll start seeing higher prices on everything, the more money they print. However, we're already seeing that. We're going to come back to the coins, though, in a minute. We're already seeing that. So when you look at what we did with the stimulus plan, stimulus is causing most resources to go through the roof. Let's just look at silver in the last 30 days. Now, some people think, oh, that's a fluke. Silver is just going up for whatever the reason. Silver's going up because we're printing more money, and the smart money is moving into solid commodities and resources that they can hold. So silver shot up from $18 to $28 in 30 days. That's a big percentage move. That's like 30% increase on your money. So if you had bought it at 18, now it's worth 28. But that's not all. Let's look at gold. We'll look at gold. Gold has been really trending hot for a while now. So let's look at a 6-month chart on gold. See, gold, think about this. The rich people in the world, they find out, they see what's going on first. They're the first ones. They knew stimulus was going to get approved. They knew how this was going to go. They were prepared for it. So they started putting money in gold since $1,600. Now it's up to $2,100. Silver, now it's the more, I'm not going to say poor people, but I am going to say the people that don't have the extra money to buy a coin, a gold coin at $2,000. So what do you buy? Well, then that's where you get into silver. And that's why now we're having the recent run up on silver. Silver's catching up because people are really starting to see it. But now back to the coins. What's really going on with the coin shortage? Okay, so for this, I got to tell you, I'm gonna tell you the blunt answer first real quick. The coins are worth more than the coins. They're already getting there. And here's how I'm going to show you that. So some of y'all know that in 1964, we took the silver out of the dimes. We took the silvers out of the quarter. We took most of the silver out of the half dollar, but we left a little bit in there until 1970. Now, yes, there are a few mistakes after 1970, few and far. However, once they took the silver out, they took the silver out because the silver got to be worth more than the dime itself. Then 1982 came, and the copper in the pennies became worth more than the penny itself. Now, to show you this, I have to come over here. This is a online coin. Basically, they sell bullion. It's a bullion website that I use a lot of the time. I recommend it to a lot of people. Lately, I have not found any good deals on there. But in general, for most of the bullion dealers, I find them to be the most promising outside of your local coin shop right now. Your local coin shop is probably going to have your best deals because they have more local people selling, local people buying. You can get a better deal. But what I want you to see here and take from this is the pennies. The pennies is what's interesting. So these pennies right here are copper pennies. And when you click on one of them, you see a bag, a 5,000 piece bag of copper pennies. That's 32 pounds of copper right there. Now, some people say, well, you can't melt pennies. That's true. You can't melt pennies legally. However, they still can trade them. It is a protection of wealth. It's not just wheat pennies. Now, look at this. This is wheat pennies now. So wheat pennies, $50 worth, again, is selling at $259. That's 5 times the penny value. But wheat pennies are a little bit older. Let's now come back here. Now, this is sold out. So you can't see what it's actually selling for, but I know what it was selling for. Think about this. They weren't selling it for $50 for 50 pennies. It wouldn't be on here. It wouldn't make sense. They were actually selling this bag of pennies for $109, but they sold out. Now that's 2 times face value. So that means your pennies from 1982 have a market value of 2 times face value. So when you're taking back those rolls of pennies to the bank that you just rolled up, think about it. You may want to either separate those pennies. Now, some people will tell me, dude, it's not worth a couple of cents. You're right. Right now, it's not worth a couple of cents. I don't think it's worth a couple of cents if I wanted to sell it right now. But if you think long term now, so that's the deal with the pennies. Now, I want you to think long term. This is a 1964 silver quarter. Actually, the picture they show is a 50. However, they will tell you that any silver quarter between 1932 and 1964 Washington quarter, so a 64 Washington quarter, if you have one of them with the price of silver being worth $28.22, any guesses what's that worth? I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's $5.18. Submit. 510. I was a little off. I know these numbers from my heart. I spent a lot of time looking at them. So $5 for a quarter. Wow. Think about what that means, okay? Now, we're going to do this calculation again, but now we're going to use a dime. We're just going to use a basic regular silver dime. We're going to use a I'm looking for a Roosevelt dime, but I can't see one here. So I guess we're going to use, oh, there it is, Roosevelt dime. So this is a 1964 Roosevelt dime, even though the picture shows it 1962. This is from 1946 to 1964. They were silver Roosevelt dimes. If you have one of them at $28.33 a pound for an ounce for silver, an ounce, not a pound. We're going to get into pound prices once we get into nickel and copper. So if you have that, think of what that's worth. That's just a dime from 1964. That's going to be worth probably right around $1.99. Nope, 205. 6 cents low that time. Okay, so 205 for a dime. That's 20 times face value. Now, the thing I want you to remember is the quarter was worth $5. That's 20 times face value. The dime is worth $2. That's roughly 20 times face value. Okay, now the next thing people always say, but that's silver. Silver and gold are going up through the roof right now. What's really going to happening, though, is soon we're going to see copper and nickel start going up. So this just happens to be a copper price chart. And the reason they got rid of the copper out of the pennies was because the copper kept going up. However, there's still a lot of copper pennies in circulation. Did you know now you actually can have a machine that can separate out your copper? Basically, it's done with magnetic properties because the magnetic property from the zinc versus the copper will actually slow down the copper pennies, which means when you run it through this machine, it will slow the speed down, and it will actually drop the copper in the first bucket, but the zinc will keep speeding down the ramp, and it will actually drop the zinc further out into the second bucket. So it's easy for them to separate. Now, some people will say, well, the Fed ain't going to do that. No, you're right now. I believe they're holding a lot of these coins because they understand that the value of this is really accelerating. There's a possibility, in my opinion, within the next year to 2 years, we will no longer have a penny here in the United States. You can look at Canada. Canada has already gotten rid of their penny because they saw the money of the penny, the copper in the penny, was worth too much. We have already realized that, and we made them out of zinc now. But even the zinc is starting to get up there in value. Everything is going up. And the more we print money, the more inflation is going to start to show. Now, right here, this is a historical nickel price. Now, this is not your actual nickels. This is just the metal nickel. And what I want you to look at is where nickel is right now at $6.50 a pound. We're going to say $6 for easy math. That's this line right here, so you can see this line. What I want you to see is during economic downturns, nickel, you can see nickel has moved a lot over the years. So if nickel is way down here, what do you think is going to happen to nickel pretty soon? Now, right now, I know, like I said, you can't melt down nickels and pennies and use the metal. However, people are reselling them already because they know what's coming. And here's the thing. If they all of a sudden go to a digital currency and they no longer have the change worth anything, they cancel them, then it could become fair game. But here's the thing. With a coin shortage, there may not be any left in existence for you to collect because essentially they could go to a digital currency and get rid of all the change altogether, or they could change the nickel and ditch the penny. Ditch the penny means we no longer use pennies here in the U.S. And then ditch the nickel and remake the nickel out of a different metal. If they do that, they already have the bulk of the nickels and the pennies in their possession. So my advice, hold on to them nickels and pennies. There's a lot of coins that you can find in existence. However, any nickels you may want to hold. Any pennies you may want to hold. Even a junk penny in Canada goes for more than a penny now because they've gotten rid of them. People want them. If all of a sudden inflation starts going through the roof, it doesn't matter what penny you have, whether it's a zinc or a copper, people are going to want them. Especially the copper, because the copper will have a huge value. Now, looking at this chart right here, I want to show you this also. Now, if you go to coinflation.com, which is what we were looking at right here when we looked at the dimes and the quarters. You come up here and you type, I think it's coin calculators. Coin calculators. Coin calculators. I don't have my glasses on, so bear with me. So now when you're looking at this right here, you have silver coins on top, which are your really old, but a lot of people don't look at base metal coins. So your base metal coins are stuff like a regular pennies. This happens to be your copper pennies. You have your copper pennies. You have your zinc pennies. They're 97.5% zinc. You have your Jefferson nickels. Let's look for a minute at copper pennies first, since that's the first thing on the chart. We're going to say that you have $1 in copper pennies. Oh, did I type that too much? No. Okay. And then we're going to calculate that. That's based off today's copper price. Keep in mind, copper is down. The economy is slow right now. So if the economy is slow, we're not building a whole lot, which means we're not using a lot of precious metals like copper. Now, despite what people will say, well, copper is not a precious metal. Copper is an industrial metal, but it has been a precious metal for a long time. I mean, you go all the way back to the Bronze Age, copper was huge, and it still is. Copper, that's why our founding fathers put copper in the pennies. Granted, they considered it the kind of least of value, essentially, of the metals. However, they still used it. Copper, it held value. People had a use for it, so therefore it was sustained. But we're going to type in. So this is 100 pennies. Any guesses what the value of 100 copper pennies are? $1.84. It's no reason why you'll see $50 in pennies sell for $109. But here's what people ain't realizing. This is really going to be the kicker right here. So we're going to come back here. We're going to hit this again, and we're going to recalculate. But now what we're going to do, we're going to calculate the nickels. Because here's the thing. Nickels are unique because nickels from 1946 till today still are the same thing. So we've never, ever changed the nickel. It's one of our founding father, essentially, metals. So when you type in the nickel, the same nickel that you find in circulation today, we're going to type in $1. Now, keep in mind, this is not based off of coins now. Now, this is nickels. So you need you type in one that's $1 in nickels. So that's 20 nickels. We're going to hit calculate. Now, look at this. 82 cents. Now, I know right off someone's like, okay, so they're not even worth $1. That's true. They're not right now. But the thing you have to remember is historical nickel price and where it's at. Okay? So there's a lot of room to go up here. We could see a repeat of what we've seen over here with that huge increase, but let's just say that don't happen. We could just see it keep going up, though, anyway, but not that high, not to $22 a pound. Because by that point, then they definitely want to make sure they have all the nickel that's out there. Now, the other thing I want you to look at is looking at copper. I mean, copper looks like it's at a high. However, think about how much we use copper in building, manufacturing, industrial. It's a heavy use metal. The more money is in circulation, the more we're going to see copper go up. Now, nickel, a little bit different. We don't use nickel in a whole lot of stuff aside from, battery charging, any kind of better battery cells, a lot of solar, which could be coming down the line, a lot of Tesla, which could be coming down the line. A lot of more advanced technologies use nickel. They also use silver. They use gold. However, nickel is still cheap. It's super cheap to get in. I mean, and here's the best part. So I'm going to pull out one of these rolls of nickels. So this roll of nickel right here is $2. $2 in nickels. I can take this to the bank. They'll give me $2. Or I could hang on to it. And if it goes up in value, the nickel and the copper, then these become more valuable, essentially. And all of a sudden, you can't just go to the bank then and say, hey, I want a ton of nickels, especially if they're going to change the metal of the nickel. So, it's something to consider. I mean, this happened in 1964 when they got rid of the dimes and the quarters. See, they made a slight mistake. They tried pulling what they could, but a lot slipped out. And that's why you can still find silver dimes and silver quarters today. But don't think for a minute that they didn't hold tons of it. And the reason I can show you that, look at this here for a minute. 90%, 90%. Face value, we'll say $100. Face value, junk silver. Bam. Oh, darn, that was 500. I want to do 100 so you can really see the easy math go into this. 90%, $100 face. Look at this. So just $100 in junk silver, $100 in face value, 90% silver coins. So that's basically 400 quarters, 4,000 dimes, or 200 half dollars. But look at the price. $2,292 now, and they're out of stock. And don't think this is more recent that they are running out of everything. They're running out of everything right now because silver and gold, they're through the roof. So that's a key indicator right there of what's happening. This coin shortage has absolutely nothing to do, in my opinion, with the virus. And it has everything to do with Jerome Powell and the Fed. The Fed is going to print money like there is no tomorrow. And if you don't believe that, check this out. I'm going to throw you another story that's going to blow your mind. You can type all this stuff in and verify it yourself. So, U.S. debt clock. Right here. Everybody uses this. It's amazing. Look at this. Look how quick the United States debt is running through the roof. We are currently sitting at $26.6 trillion. If you got about 5 minutes and you watch this, look, 26 trillion, 621 million, 215 million. I'm sorry, that was a billion. So 26 trillion, 621 billion, 215 million. The number is just astronomical. But look at that. It's 215. Now it's 216 million. Look how quick it's going up. This is just astronomical, and a lot of people are just asleep at the wheel when you talk to them about some of this stuff. I'd be shocked how many people even made it to the end of this video, because this is something that the average person does not look at, and that's why they miss the opportunity of picking up, granted, 64 dimes and quarters and half dollars. A lot of us may not have been around in 1964, but the people that were had the golden opportunity to make huge gains on their money. And it's coming around again. 64. How many people even remember 64? I wasn't even alive in 64. So as these numbers go up, just since I've been talking to you here, we're up a ton. Now, you can come down here, the gold to silver ratio, the paper silver to actual silver ratio, the paper gold to actual gold ratio, and this will give you a whole nother set of numbers. However, these numbers are starting to move heavily too. There's a lot of opportunity to make money off gold and silver, but there's also a lot of opportunity to make money off of nickel, because people don't even understand what's going on with precious metals. A lot of people don't even know what precious metals are. This is your opportunity to really do well with it. And it's not just, the whole thing is pennies, nickels. However, if they came out and said, okay, we're going to do a shortage on just pennies and nickels, what do you think that would do? Do you think that would raise questions? Oh, they can get quarters and dimes, but they can't get nickels and pennies? Well, here's the thing. They didn't say that to you, but if you talk to your banks or if you go to your local stores, they may end up, say they owe you 90 cents, they may give it to you in 9 dimes because they don't have the nickels or the pennies right now. So you have the opportunity to still collect some and make a little bit of money. Now, I know someone ain't going to go to the store and try to all of a sudden, you're already late to the game. If you're watching this video right now, the game has already started. And they're collecting all the change. Because right now what they're doing is they're drawing it out of the wood pile. And what that means is you look what's going on. Say, well, I seen at my local HEB, help our store out by bringing in your local change. Bring in your change, your rolled change. We'll give you your money for it. Liquor stores, they're doing the same thing. Gas stations, burger places, pizza places, everybody's in need of change. And soon, as people get fed up with not being able to get their change back or not being able to buy their item they want, then they're going to end up just moving to an all-digital currency. And then change could get left out altogether. So for the Fed, this is a win-win situation. The win on one side is we go to an all-digital currency. That's a big win for them. The win on the other side is, well, we get all the pennies, we get all the nickels, and we cancel the penny, and we remake the nickel in a new material, and little by little, we siphon it all out of the system. Good money will be pushed out by bad money. What that means is if all of a sudden you look at like Utah is an amazing example of this. Utah launched their gold bucks, their gold backs, however you say it. But basically, I think they say it gold bucks. Basically, they have their own currency. Look it up. If you think I'm exaggerating on some of this, look that up. And literally, when they launched this money, it got bought out by people right off the bat. They took their bad money and they traded it in for good money. And little by little, it disappeared. Now, try to get a $1 gold back from Utah, and you're going to find out that they're 3-something. Try to get a $50 gold buck, and you're going to find out that it's $160 for a $50 bill. Now, the beauty is it has precious metals in the bill. It is a percentage of gold. However, the other one is just paper. Regular is just paper. So, and now you can use this for gold and hold it and let it go up in value like it already has. Now it's worth $3 to 1. Or you can spend it. You only paid $1 for it. That's an example of good money getting ran out by bad money. Because who wants bad money? It'd be like if I give you, depending on your country, I give you another country's money. You're not going to want that. You're going to want the money of here. Now, the advantages of precious metals is they're wanted all over the world. Now, some people will say, well, the U.S. dollar is wanted all over the world. Right now it is. However, precious metals, gold, silver, you can go to any country in the world with an ounce of gold, and they're going to give you the same amount in U.S. dollars as the gold is worth. So what that means is, let's say the U.S. dollar, you have $1, it's worth $1. Let's say in Mexico, though, $1 equals $10. Okay? Well, now the gold, the ounce of gold is worth $2,000 right now. Well, the ounce of gold in Mexico is worth $20,000. It's the same amount of money when it comes to ratio, but it's a little bit different. But it's a whole lot easier to hold 1 ounce of gold versus $20,000. So when people tell you, oh, it's too hard to hold gold, it's too hard to have change and coins and stuff, and we need to just go to a plastic card and all this, be very mindful, because with that you lose a lot of your freedoms, essentially, because soon we already get taxed a lot. I mean, if I just give you a couple dollar tips at a restaurant, well, there's no mistaking. They get their percentage right off the bat at transfer, which is what I really think the whole premises of the digital currency. A lot of people say no, it's control, because with that means the Federal Reserve will control you. If they don't like you for any reason, they control the currency. They just shut your card off. You no longer can buy, sell, or trade without their approval. That gets into a whole nother story that I'm going to do for another video, but definitely something to be thinking about. So next time you get a roll of pennies, you may want to keep it. Next time you get a roll of quarters, dimes, nickels, whatever, you may want to hang on to it just for the time being, if you can. I even try to go to the bank once in a while and pick up a roll. A lot of banks, though, now are saying, no, we can't give you any. You're not a business member. We can only give you the minimum. Some banks are really good if they're small hometown banks, and they'll give you the change, but you need to be mindful of what's going on. So, like I said, guys, if you guys enjoyed this video, if you got a little something out of it, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. Be sure to hit that thumbs up on the video. Join our team. We're currently at 5,108 80 subscribers. Hopefully I'll see you. You just hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button, help us out. And I really hope to see you guys again on the channel. One evening we do a live stream. During the live streams, we talk about what's going on financially, what's going on economically, and we do a lot of Q&A. We take a lot of questions and stuff. So I hope to see you guys again, and take care, guys. This was my opinion on the chain shortage. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you got something from it. So take care, guys, and have a great night. Thanks for watching.